We just enjoyed a blessing, an amazing rendition of Lift Every Voice from the Community Concert Choir of Baltimore. And now we have its director joining us, Mr. Merrick. Marco, so good to see you again.
It's great to see you, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. It is the celebration of the Billie Holiday Music and Arts Festival here in Baltimore, and what a way to start it off with your community choir.
Yeah, it's an honor to be part of this and to celebrate the great history that we have.
Now, you have, without question, been impassioned in the area of choral music, and you have, over the years, done a tremendous job with forming not only the community choir, but also having wonderful presentations, yearly presentations around the holidays and other strategic times of year. Why did you embrace such a task?
Well, I think that, of course, I believe in destiny. It was something I was supposed to do, so I'm hoping that I can live up to whatever this is that I'm trying to do here, putting in the universe that thing that's been imbued in me. And music is really at the core of so much of culture. And for us to celebrate the mission of this choir, which was established more than 10 years ago now. We're in our 10th full season, of course not performing right now, but that clip is from the 10th annual fall concert of the Community Concert Choir. And it was established really to preserve and promote the sacred music of the African American church.
Why are you so impassioned with this mission?
Well, it's very important, and one of the sad things that drives me about this is that the traditional foundational music of the African American church cannot really be found in many African American churches anymore. And so for me to help sustain and promote and to ensure that our children will not lose their legacy, and they will actually inherit this very important foundational music such as the Negro spiritual, which is the only true indigenous form of American music, and it's celebrated in the world. And so for it to be lost in our culture is a sad thing. So we've got to do this.
Now, I also noticed, I couldn't help but notice, but there was also someone dancing.
She I am proud to say that.
How did you incorporate that in?
Well, I actually contacted my niece, Merrick, who is actually a dance educator in the school system of Baltimore County and also with the School for the Arts. She is an alum of the Baltimore School for the Arts and majored in ballet. And of course, she is there in the Twigs program now. So when I reached out to Amber and I said, the choir is performing Roland Carter's concert arrangement of Lift Every Voice and Sing. Can you choreograph something, and would you present it during that concert? And this is my first time asking her to do such, and she did it, and she did it tremendously well.
Well, you mentioned something, Marco, and I just want to go back to that, and that is you talked about preserving the tradition and the heritage of this music that's originally our music, our expression.
Yes.
But it is no secret that when it comes to this Billie Holiday Music and Arts Festival, its epcot is Pennsylvania Avenue.
Absolutely.
And I understand many of your members are very familiar with the history of Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, I'm really proud to say that because the Community Concert Choir is comprised of a cross-section of ages and groups and denominations, and of course the core are Baltimore people, but we have members from as far as the West Coast and up into New England. But those Baltimore folk, many of them were either children, young adults, or young people who were part of Pennsylvania Avenue or knew its culture very well when Pennsylvania Avenue was in its heyday. So I have heard stories about the great acts that came through Baltimore, and anything that was going to make it anywhere, if it was going to make it anywhere, it made it here in Baltimore.
I think that's why it's important that we not only preserve, but we also resurrect the history of Pennsylvania Avenue and the spirit of Pennsylvania Avenue. There are a lot of efforts now along those lines trying to revitalize this area. Why is that important to you?
Well, it's important because we have to celebrate our history. Of course, those who don't know their history are destined to repeat it, and sometimes it's in an unfortunate way. However, to celebrate the rich legacy of Baltimore, its arts and culture, as a matter of fact, to know it's a society that is successful and rich is one that has culture. And Baltimore is, when you think about the turn of the 20th century, Baltimore was probably the second largest city in the nation. And so it was replete with I would say, a plethora of rich talent.
Yeah.
And we think about the legends that, had their birth here on Pennsylvania Avenue, and so many that went other places in the world, but Pennsylvania Avenue and Baltimore gave birth to many of those people.
One of the ones that I discovered later in life, I knew about Billie Holiday, I knew about Cab Calloway,
Yes.
but I did not know about Red Fox.
Oh, yes.
Red Fox performed regularly on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Well, my dad, because of course I'm a Baltimorean, my parents are a third-generation Baltimore family, but my dad talked about being a youngster, and once he did the chores that his grandmother had him do on Saturdays, he would get permission from his parents to come to Pennsylvania Avenue, and with a quarter, he talked about going in the theater, being able to see the films or see a movie, see a performance, get the news, get something to eat with the 25 cents that he earned for cleaning the marble steps.
Marco, thank you for sharing with us these precious moments as we celebrate the 2020 Billie Holiday Music and Arts Festival, commemorating the wonderful contributions and the heritage of Pennsylvania Avenue and all the people that came out of this area. And for your choir and your activity with the choir, how can folk reach you?
Well, actually, there are a number of ways. We're on Facebook, the Community Concert Choir of Baltimore. We have a website. You can find us on YouTube as well. But the website address is cccbmore.org. That's cccbmore.org.